Okay, recently someone asked me how do I apply random colors to a 3D scene, well, to a 3D object. It's quite simple. It's the same concept, except we're not going to apply it to the color. We are going to apply it to the albedo of whatever shape you got. So let's start with the 3D scene. And in this 3D scene, click add, and we're going to add a mesh instance 3D. And in the mesh instance 3D, on the top right hand corner here where you see mesh, click empty and create a mesh. It doesn't matter which one of the meshes you want. Let's say I want to do a prism, or you want to do a sphere. Just choose any one. I'm choosing the prism. You have to click the prism that you just created here in the little box, and you'll see a wider menu come up in the inspector, a longer menu, and you go down on that and click material. There you'll see empty. Click empty and add a new standard material 3D. When you add a new standard material 3D, click the little sphere inside here. That's just showing you the color of your material. It's not really a sphere because we have a prism in here. And you'll see more options come up. You go down, click albedo, and you'll see the color here. And if you change this color, you'll see the color of the object on the inside of the screen changing on your display screen. To control this via code, as in to apply a random color, it's the same process. You can always go back to the other video that shows how to get a random color in detail and just apply it here. I'll just do it quickly. I'm just going to copy and paste some information, and I will get it done quickly. So what we need to change here is hover over the color, and you'll see that's the property you need to change the color of the albedo color. Let's start a script. And as you can see here, we have GDScript. Let's just create it. I'm just going to delete all these things here. Basically, we just want a function to get a random value. We're just going to stick with the random float value like we did in the last video. Of course, you can use any one of the other methods. Random integer value with your own values. With your own values that are chosen beforehand. So remember, we want to return a type of float. So our function random value returns a type of float. And let's say var value again is equal to, let's do randf range. Let's go down. And our range we want to be anywhere for a lighter color is 0.4, comma 1. Maximum is 1. Good. And let's return that. Return the value. Okay, let's do a function for the random color. And it's going to return a type of color. It's going to return the color value, that is. Don't forget the tab. I made a mistake. This is supposed to be colon, not semicolon. That's why it didn't tab properly on its own. And let's say var value, which will be our color that's returning, or if you want to give it an easier name, so you remember var color. It doesn't matter because this is just the color we're going to return. And var color will be color. Don't forget, we're going to use this one here, RGB. You can probably write a separate function to change the alpha as well, but we're just going to use this, the RGB, all floats. So we want to get a random value for each of these color channels. So random value. Let me just copy this so you don't have to write it over and over. Control C, comma, Control V, comma, Control V. And don't forget to close it off. And of course it's going to complain that we're not returning a value. Return color. And that's all the code we really need. Unless we're going to add a button to the screen, which we can. So let me, okay, so let's go across to the 3D screen. And let's add a control node. Yeah. This is what our viewport will look like. And I'm just going to add a quick button. I'm not going to go into viewport calculations or anything like that. This is what we're going to see on the screen when we run the game. And of course, whatever is behind, which is our 3D view. Let me add a button here. Let me just drag this button somewhere around here maybe. And let's add change color. And let's save this. We'll leave it as node 3D. And the script was saved as well automatically. Everything was saved. And let's go into the node tab at the top right hand corner and use the pressed. And yes, that's the name of the script is node 3D. We'll put the on button pressed in here. And remember, we wanted to change the color of the mesh instance 3D. So let's go back to the mesh instance 3D in the inspector. And remember what we need to change. We need to change the albedo color. Okay, and let's get rid of the placeholder pass. And we want to change the color of the mesh instance. So let's drag it across. But in this case, we're not gonna type color, just dot color. All right, so we actually want to access the color albedo, but we have to access the actual material. So it's not as simple as just typing albedo color. We have to type in get active material. So it's not very complex. It's just one little addition. And the function asks for a surface int. By default, the first one is 0. Well, our first layer is the 0, and that's all we're going to be dealing with here now. So we're going to say get active material 0. And this is where we get the albedo color. And that is going to be equal to our random color. Let's just test if this is working. If we play this now, we're not going to see anything because we have no camera. We're only going to see the button. So let's try it. So as you can see, we have the button here. We're not even sure what's going on with the mesh at the background. Let's just add. Click node 3 and add a camera. Camera 3D. And let's go back to the 3D view. Let's see where the camera is. Let's move it back a bit because it's right over the, as you can see in the little preview window here, we can actually see the prism now, or mesh. Let me just move it around a bit so I can get to see different edges and corners, and let me rotate it on this axis. And I think I want to rotate it on this axis as well, and then I'll move it up a bit, give it a nice perspective. sort of. Okay. That's fine. And let's save that. Now if we play it, it's going to be a little dark, but we can see it. That's because we have no lights applied. So let's add some directional light. So you type in directional light 3D. So we have a directional light 3D. Watch where it's pointing. There's a big arrow. You can move it back. And this is directly in front of the object. Let's just rotate it a little so we can get some shadows. And that's okay. Yeah, I'll save this. Now you'll see a better perspective. And there we go. It's a little dark on the side because we don't have any ambient lighting. If you want, you can add that as well. Let's just click camera 3D. You'll see you can add an environmental light here because it's a little dark. Click environment. You'll see all these options come up. We just want an ambient light. Let's set it to sky. It means it's coming from on the top. And right now the color is black. We don't want black. Let's change it all the way white. So if we save this now and run, we get nice shadows and shade. And click change color and it works. And there we go. So that's it. That's how you change the color of a 3D object.